Someone or something disgraces you or humiliate you, that will drive you to be one of them. Somebody don't humiliate you, you will not grow at a faster pace. Being from an agricultural background, we have to go to work at 18-19. So I am the senior member of my family, so I had to earn.
How was it working for a company like Ashok Leyland?
See, working in a company like Ashok Leyland is a dream for everyone. It's not so easy to get into Ashok Leyland in those days. It's very difficult to be appreciated for making a mistake so that you learn something out of that. That has changed my life so far. When we were in purchase, there were no mobiles. We used to work on the phones, landlines, and we used to go everything on Telegram. See, for making a phone call, we have to stand in a queue. People get anxious if we don't pick up the phone. Those days, it is normal that if somebody doesn't do it.
Where did you find the money to start?
Yeah, very important question. Entrepreneurship mainly means how do you manage your finances. That's all. I didn't have any money those days. Investors and venture capitalists, we cannot even dream of those days. Even your friends will not invest for you.
You started with 2 lakhs. Did you get any bank financing? Any other customer support you?
The face of the bank when you go for a loan and when you see the face of the bank in other transactions, it's completely different. If you are a good company, you get good profit, but your growth is not there, bank will not invest. Started with 2 lakhs, that's all. And slowly I built this company. It's not overnight I bought 10 CNCs on that. Every year 2-3 CNCs. Step by step building. See, you cannot have a baby in 6 months.
So what things you feel in our education system should change, sir?
There are 2 things. One system should give knowledge. The second system should give you skill. If you see the new engineers now, their ideas are fantastic. They are very creative, but they are not given enough opportunity. That's what I feel. You can see in your lifetime that blue-collared persons are paid more than white-collar persons. The status is not decided based on your work. It is decided based on what you give.
What has been the most defining moments in your journeys?
Even though it is very difficult to run an industry, the best part of the journey is you take care of so much families. The satisfaction you get from seeing your employees happy, that is very, very important. A birth can be an incident, but death should be a history.
The hardest place to begin any journey is from the absolute bottom. Welcome to the channel and another episode of The Master's Edge. I'm Cibi, partner and co-founder of 2 different companies, CNV Engineering and Vesta Industrial Solutions. The first company is into engineering components, supply chain and sourcing, and the second company is a B2B sales and marketing consulting firm based out of Coimbatore City, India. I'll leave the links of both the websites in the description if you're interested to know more on what we do. Over the past 12 years of running our own businesses and working in the corporate sector, we've had the pleasure of interacting with a diverse range of professionals across domains. This podcast is our way of sharing that knowledge with the world. Today's guest is Mr. Deenathayalan, Managing Director of Sreeram Engineering and Sreeram Spheroids and Graphites. He has been in the automotive component manufacturing business for over 20 years now, and his company serves customers like Ashok Leyland, Yanmar Engines, Mitsubishi, just to name a few. In this episode, me and my business partner Vignesh sat down with our guest to understand his journey. Now, running an industrial business is a hard job. Coming from humble beginnings and born into an agricultural family, he joined Ashok Leyland as a trainee in the 1990s after completion of his education. Back in those days, there was no concept of IT companies or any other big institutions to provide you jobs. Jobs were far and few. The experiences he gained there while working, which eventually led him to start his own business in the late 90s. Along with this, we touched upon a lot more topics, such as how to manage your money as a bootstrap business, how to manage and build a team from scratch, how to overcome failures and challenges, the problem with our present education system, and much, much more. Before we start though, most of the guests that we bring on the podcast don't have much of an online presence, but have a wealth of knowledge and experience that they can share with the world. So please consider subscribing, as this motivates us to bring in more such interesting guests. The episode is also available on Spotify, Apple Podcast and YouTube Music, the links of which I'll leave in the description. To have a better experience, please switch to 1.5x video speed and reduce the resolution and focus more on the audio. Thank you, and let's get started.
Hi sir, thank you for accepting this invite and gracing us with your presence. So we have a thing in our podcast, sir. Before we start the podcast, it is always better if you tell our audience who exactly Mr. Deenathayalan is, what has been your journey, and what do you do currently?
Okay.
To enlighten others.
I am Deenathayalan. I started my journey in Coimbatore. I am a farmer's son. I'm a first generation entrepreneur. See, I did my studies, diploma in that day the diploma was more than BE. So doing diploma itself was great. So I did my diploma in CET Sandwich Polytechnic. Yeah.
It was in which year, sir?
It was in 86 to 89. In 86 to 89, I did my diploma in CIT. I think in 89 July, we got an interview from Ashok Leyland. Those days Ashok Leyland used to be very big company. Not like today, there are a lot of IT companies. That day there was no IT company. Maybe Tata, Ashok Leyland, Titan. So those were the companies, very big. TVS. So those were
all the traditional manufacturing houses.
Traditional manufacturing companies were, they were the very big companies, and getting a job in Ashok Leyland is everyone's dream that day. So I think 72 people were in our class totally. Everybody wrote the return. They selected 6 people. So I was one of them. I went to Chennai, Madras for the final interview. That is the first time I'm visiting Chennai in my lifetime. Yeah, out of 6, the only one got selected was me. I don't know why they selected me. There were guys who were better than me. I don't know why they selected me. What they found better in me, I don't know. I was lucky to get selected to Ashok Leyland. That changed my total journey and outlook of the life. See, they trained us very well. 6 months was rigorous training in Ashok Leyland. They trained me in Ennur. I was trying to go to marketing, but somehow I got transferred to Hosur. They give extensive training in their corporate office in Ennur. There's a training center in Ennur. There's a training manager. There are 2-3 training executives. They take very good care of us.
It's like a college after college.
Better than that. See, college is something where we learn, or we can learn and we can leave it. But Ashok Leyland, we have to learn there. Your mindset is the limit. So there's no limit. Whatever you want, you can do during the training period. We were there for about 6 months in Ennur. Then I was placed in Hosur. First, I started my journey in quality control department. After general training in Ennur, I was placed in Hosur in a department training. Again, there also I was trained for about a year. The training goes about for a year. So first 3 months I was in quality control department. Then I was put in pricing department. You would not have heard pricing department. What I learned during those 6 months, even today I cherish those values. So we got good bosses there. One quality manager, he was very good. Mr. KMS was there. He was very good. And Mr. Peter Abraham as a costing manager or pricing manager. He was one of the best. So he always likes to solve problems. So you learn one good quality from each one of them. Then I was placed in vendor development and outsourcing. Your vendor development outsourcing, you can do whatever you want. Nobody is going to restrict you there. So people always give you free hand to work. So we follow the same policy in our company today. We don't restrict people. We don't micromanage people. We just let them do their work. So there in Ashok Leyland, you take a decision or nobody takes a decision. So that kind of freedom is given to you. So with that freedom, you can learn whatever you want. You want to learn engineering, you can learn engineering. Even if you are in purchase, you want to learn quality control, you can inspect your own.
You are free to learn.
You are free to learn, you are free to work. See, luckily I got placed in vendor development. About a year of training, I got placed in vendor development.
At that time, how old were you, sir?
I was about 20 years old.
Young chap out of...
Yes. Being from an agricultural background, we have to go to work at 18, 19.
Correct.
So we didn't have resource to wait for and we didn't have any earned resources. So I'm the senior member of my family, so I had to earn. So at 18 or 19, I joined Ashok Leyland, 1 year training. When I was 20, I was placed in vendor development. My first project was IVQ development. I was put in a team where already people were there, and we used to develop an engine as an import substitute engine. We were developing IVQ engine.
This was in the 90s.
90s.
So until then, Ashok Leyland used to import engines.
No, they used to make their own engines. This was a better technology engine which was coming out for them. See, they had Hino engines before this. Then Ashok Leyland engines were there. So these IVQ engines were brought inside for low weight vehicles like so 5 tonner, 7 tonner, all that. So these IVQ vehicles were the best in Europe those times. It's an Italy-based design.
Okay.
So which they were the best during those Europe days. So we started indigenization of IVQ engines was the first project which I was in. It's from scratch to 100 engines per day production we were working.
Okay.
So the team was very small, only 3 people, and we used to work rigorously to achieve those goals.
At that time, how big was Ashok Leyland, sir? How many vehicles are they?
Ashok Leyland, even then it was a very big company. They were making at least about 80 vehicles per day. Even
I think them and Tata were the
No, Tata is still more bigger. Tata is 3 times bigger than Ashok Leyland always. So now Ashok Leyland slowly catching up with Tata. So those days it was 3 times the vehicle plant. Whatever Ashok Leyland used to make, Tata used to make 3 times. 3 times more. After that, I worked there in after the indigenization of Iveco engines. Then I started to work in outsourcing of components. Whatever we were making inside. So we were made to outsource all those parts so that we can save some cost on those parts. So except critical components, we were asked to outsource all the parts. So I was involved in the outsourcing of the components before I left Ashok Leyland in 1999 to pursue. My dream was an entrepreneur, to be an entrepreneur. That was my dream. But I was there for about 10 years, just dreaming about how to become an entrepreneur. So I prepared myself from almost not day one. I should not say day one. Maybe after 3 years. From then I started preparing for my entrepreneurial job.
What prompted you towards that, sir? How did the entrepreneurship bug bite you?
Freedom to work again.
Okay.
Even though the freedom was better in Ashok Leyland, I thought as an entrepreneur we can decide what to do. We can give life to at least 100 families. That was my dream once.
But sorry to interrupt, sir. But this was there even before you started business, or all this kind of the way the dream of giving job to others. This came after you started business, or?
No, initially, see, my thing was I wanted to give back to my society in Coimbatore something.
Okay.
Those days, this was mainly an agricultural background.
Correct. 90s, yeah.
So I want to give back something to my society here. That is point number one. And yes, I dreamt a bigger version of what I am today. So I don't want to start 1 or 2 machines and stop there. So that was never my dream. My dream was to start a company and grow it bigger and bigger. That was my dream. And moreover, in Ashok Leyland, even though the freedom was there, everything was there, the job was a rotational one. So you get up in the monotonous and rotational one. So you go there, you do your job, come back, you go there, do your job and come back. Those kind of jobs. So you develop, maybe parts might differ. But so I thought something enterprising and different we have to do. So I came out in 99. I started my unit, Sreeram Engineering. Yes, Sreeram is again a name belonging to my uncle. So Mr. Ramchandran, he died in... He used to take very good care of me. So
when you were young?
So 1975 he died in an accident.
Okay.
So when I was about 5 years old.
Okay.
So in his remembrance, I started this company as Sreeram Engineering one. After this, we did very well. Like we were giving very good products to the customer. Like we offered those days, people, Ashok Leyland used to buy castings from one supplier, give it outside to machining, and then buy it as a fully finished component. We offered them in fully finished condition from day one. Like I used to take risk of buying the castings, machine it and give it to Ashok Leyland, so that their burden has come down very well down. Until 2010, we were pioneers in whatever we were. After that, we were hit by the power cut during 2000.
Yeah.
We were doing about 25 crores turnover in 2010 itself. So the turnover came because of this power cut. 16 hours was the power cut in Tamil Nadu.
Yeah.
So it came down to 10 crores from 25 crores. So much of overheads managing was very difficult. So we had to go through a lot of stress in finances, everything. Then slowly we recovered to become what we are now. Yes, we are more resilient now. We are more focused on what we do. Now we focus on more of our value addition rather than getting job. Now in 2011, due to the power cut, we used to buy castings from different foundries and supply to Ashok Leyland, but we never got castings because of the power cut. Because they had their own priorities. So we went for a greenfield project to manufacture castings. That is Sreeram Spheroids and Graphites. In 2011, we started this foundry and we started our first production in 2012 July. So it's almost 12 years now, and we produce about 250 tons of castings, machine them fully finished in Sreeram Engineering, and then we convert into smaller assemblies as required by the customers and supply to them in a fully finished condition to lay them to lay them near the line side. We call it line side assembly. So all that we are taking care of now.
You're a major part of the supply chain of Leyland.
We cannot say so because we supply very meager quantity of about 150 tons per month to Ashok Leyland. But their buying is in the range of 2,000, 3,000 tons a month. So we are one of the suppliers. And we also have some other customers now. We supply to Caterpillar. We supply to Bull Machines in Coimbatore. We supply to Yanmar engines. We also export our castings today to Ingersoll and US. Okay. These are our customer list.
I have a question, sir.
Yeah.
You had worked with Ashok Leyland, especially in the purchase department. How was it working for a company like Ashok Leyland, a company that is that big at that point of time? Today we have all the IT and huge companies available today in abundance. How was it working for a big company back then? Point number one. Second question is being in purchase. This is for the benefit of general audience here. What is the role of someone in a purchase department and how critical it is for a manufacturing company?
See, working in a company as Ashok Leyland is a dream for everyone. It's not so easy to get into Ashok Leyland in those days. It's very difficult. So it was a dream. To realize what we are doing only will take about 6 months to 1 year. So it's really, it was the best company to work for. A company which will train you to be the best in your life. So that is Ashok Leyland. So they will give you a lot of opportunity to learn. See, when you do something wrong, they always say, don't worry what you have lost. Always learn what you have learned from this loss is very, very important. That's what is a lesson taught to us in Ashok Leyland. So it is the best company to get trained for.
Very encouraging atmosphere.
Very encouraging atmosphere. You will not be blamed for. You will be appreciated for making a mistake, so that you learn something out of that. Okay. So that is the kind of the company it is, and that has changed my life so far. And we got one good executive director, Mr. S. Nagarajan. He is really changed Ashok Leyland to what it is today. We can always term Ashok Leyland as before and after him. So it's one of the best today. It is built on a lot of people's hard work, but he changed the version of the company.
Is one of the
that is my vision. That's my version. That's my version.
And regarding purchase?
Yeah, purchasing, yes, it is. Actually, 90% of the parts are outsourced. It's not done in-house, except critical parts, cylinder blocks, cylinder head, and maybe camshaft. 1 or 2 parts are being done inside. So, majority of their production or Ashok Leyland's production depends on outside suppliers. So, if we don't put a part in line at the required time, then there is going to be a big loss. See, it's about 700 parts are there in an engine. So even if a bolt doesn't come, it is going to be very critical. So
line will stop.
The synchronization of the people, synchronization of the parts, is very, very critical for the company. So purchase, see, if 90% of the parts are outsourced, then purchase role is very, very major. And the quality of purchase part also is very, very critical. See, in Ashok Leyland, I think all purchase guys are technical guys. They take this kind of guys because we also focus on quality, on whatever products we bring in. When we visit a supplier, we also visit for commercials as well as technical discussions. So it helps us a lot to put in a lot of effort to make it the great company today it is. So purchase department role is very critical to Ashok Leyland. Even today, it is not even in earlier days. Even today, it is very critical because most of the parts come from outside.
I think it is the case for any manufacturing industry. Right? Purchase plays a very important role.
Very important role. See, it is where you can bring down your costs. Majority of your costs, you can bring down the costs. You can do a lot of value engineering. I took up a lot of value engineering project during my days to reduce costs, and I got a lot of support from my top management for that.
Those were some of the key learnings that prompted you to. That helped you maybe after you started also.
Yes. Truly, those were the things which helped me a lot.
That
and I got an opportunity to run a company, run a supplier company, which was really because we need the parts from them. We couldn't develop alternate source immediately, so we had to run the company to take the parts from them. So I used to involve in their salaries, EB payment, all. That. So that helped me to.
I think that would have given you a picture of how running a company would be without even initially investing in anything.
Yes.
Just to understand how.
Yes. See, it is again the mindset only. They will give you a lot of opportunities in any company. Only thing is you have to put your mindset open and
whether you are willing to work.
Willing to learn. Learning is more important. If you are willing to learn, then limit is yours.
Yeah.
You can be limitless.
What prompted you to start in Coimbatore, sir? Because these sort of businesses, generally, manufacturing businesses, were predominantly in Chennai, Bangalore, all the established cities. Other than the motivation to give back to Coimbatore city, it would have been a bit more easier for you to start somewhere nearby, somewhere.
Yes.
What was that?
What happened was I started in Coimbatore mainly because I am from Coimbatore.
Okay.
I thought starting here and transporting there would be better. But those days, as you said, people were giving subcontract material and taking. So what I did initially was I put up a unit in Hosur.
Okay.
As a machining, I started a machining plant in Hosur to support Ashok Leyland, very near to Ashok, about a kilometer from Ashok Leyland. Started a machining plant. Before we developed here, I supported them from there. So I took the same orders here with fully finished condition.
Okay.
So I started in Hosur, as you said. I ran it for about 2-3 years. Then I shifted all the machines here.
Once you started getting things going, then you established.
Yeah, that is because the castings were here. Raw castings were from here.
Okay.
So there's no point in sending the raw castings from here and machining it and giving it to them. So because raw castings are from here, because the transport cost would be little more. So I thought finishing it here and sending it would be better. But Coimbatore to Hosur is an overnight journey. It doesn't
300 kilometers.
When we were in purchase, there were no mobiles. We used to work on the phones, landlines, and to chase a truck. You will not believe that we will take a two-wheeler and go to Krishnagiri, find the truck and bring it to the line. Those were the days. Because nobody is having a mobile number. We don't have mobiles those days. But today it's very easy.
Yeah, nowadays, yeah.
That is one plus and one minus also. People get anxious if you don't pick up the phone. Those days it is normal that if somebody doesn't pick up the phone.
I think how was the purchaser on all those things, sir? Even emails were not that existent, right? Like even
How was the communication?
starting of the career, I'm telling you, 90s and
See, we used to go everything on Telegram.
okay.
Telegram was there and those days. We used to, for making a phone call, we had to stand in a queue or we had to book in advance with our DGM's phone or something like that. It was a kind of work everywhere.
Okay.
So because external phones is restricted. See, what we do those days was, because things are restricted, we used to consolidate our work and talk fully. But today we don't consolidate.
We can talk anytime.
Anytime. So it becomes easy for us. But there are some advantages and disadvantages also.
But I think nowadays everything is in the palm of our hands.
It's a great advantage because of which we are able to connect to anybody anytime. That's
Across the globe.
Across the globe.
What parts do you produce in your company, sir?
See, we produce.
What are Sreeram's operations, sir?
We produce castings. Any castings, grey iron castings, JN castings. We were focusing on automobile. We have now diversified into industrial castings also. We produce castings, machine them, and if any small assemblies are there, we
Sub-assemblies.
We do some small sub-assemblies and supply to customers in the required condition. To talk about the critical parts we are producing a hinge for Ashok Leyland and Boss vehicle. Boss vehicle is one of the it's a pride of Ashok Leyland. So it's one of the very important model they are producing. Their MD, when they were talking, they were telling they have the 7 best things in the world in that vehicle. We supply door hinges to this. See, these door hinges normally used to be in sheet metal parts.
Okay.
It was developed in casting. This design came from Europe. They took a plant in Avia, Europe. So from there this design came. So we developed as a import substitute. Indigenization part, we developed this part. And last maybe 10-12 years, we are supplying this part to Ashok Leyland. See, these door hinges, there's a story behind that. But when it is a casting, it breaks and the door comes out easily. So you can pull out people at the earliest. So this is one of the technology which Europeans have brought in. Maybe slowly it will come in other vehicles also.
When you started, sir, where did you find the money to start?
Yeah,
that is a very important
question. See, entrepreneurship mainly means how do you manage your finances. Until 2010 power cut, I never used to have even a OD. I don't have an OD facility. I managed to all the 25 crores with my own money. Like, see, we used to rotate the money. That's all. I didn't have any money those days. It's only whatever I earned, I spent. That's all.
You had saved up money and before starting? Or?
No, not much. It's very less. See, I started with 2 lathes. That's all.
Okay.
Started with 2 lathes and slowly I built this company. It's not overnight I bought 10 CNCs, all that. Every year 2-3 CNCs. Step by step building. It again depends on the customer pull. If the customer wants more, you have to give in time. That's very, very important. If you see the strength of Sreeram today, we can develop any part within 20 days. From drawing to fully finished part. And we have done that twice or thrice to our Yanmar engines customer. We developed one flywheel in 20 days. Now we developed a flywheel housing last month in 21 days.
Okay.
So it's not easy. 21 days means we have to work 24/7.
But that journey has taken 24 years, no? 23 years.
Yes.
To come to that stage.
It takes some time. Even before that, even during my earlier days, this is my crux. we always excel in customers' requirements. So if a customer requires X, we are always X plus. So that's why I bought my CMM about 12 years ago.
Okay.
So when nobody was having CMM, I wanted to buy a CMM. So we are always thinking how we have to go ahead of others. So if you have to be ahead of your competition, always you have to be best in whatever you do. So you have to be best in your quality. You have to be best in your delivery. And automatically you can be in the forefront of the competition. So if you don't be your best, then if you maintain the same quality for 10 years, you will be out of the market.
You have to keep improving.
Yes, we have to keep improving. Improvement is very, very critical.
Yeah.
So it should be a way of our life. It is not that we do, in 2010 we do the same quality, and if we do the same quality now, we'll be out of the market. And even the turnover, for that matter, if you do same turnover in 2010 and now, you will be out of the market. So you have to improve your turnover to minimum growth should be 20%. If you don't have 20% growth, then you will be out of your market very, very quickly. And you also have to apply your latest technology here. Wherever possible, you have to apply latest technology.
Correct.
To get the quality out.
Going back to the initial days, sir, how quickly did you scale up? How quickly did you scale up in the sense like, how was the first 5 years like? How was the next 5 years like? Because you said you've taken it step by step. Nowadays, there is a perception that to start a company, you need investors, right?
Yeah.
You must be seeing across social media that all the funding frenzy going on in the past 3-4 years.
Yes.
But there was no concept of investors. All those back in those days. How did you bootstrap things? Because to increase your business, increase the number of machines also, you need money.
Yes.
Right. The amount of orders also will be slowly getting ramped up. It's not like you tell them I'm going to take 10 machines, they're going to just hand over more orders to you. How was that journey like?
See, it is customer's requirement. You have to select your customer who is growing. It is very, very important. That time Ashok Leyland was growing. If you are selecting a stagnant customer, you are not going to get order. And your connect with the customer is very, very important. How do you connect with the customer is very, very important. See, that's why I said you have to excel your customer's requirement in both quality and delivery. Then only you can grow. You have to understand customer's pain and you have to give a solution for that. That is business. So it's not that you supply as per their requirement. You always excel in their requirement. You understand what is their pain and you work for their pain, and it becomes a business for you.
So that they are confident enough to give you more orders.
Yes. See, those days their pain was getting a casting from one supplier, giving it outside, machining it and getting back. So they have to do 2 follow-up, inventories, accounting, all that was a very big problem. And which we solved initially. So that gave us a big leap in our business. That was one thing. Second thing was, because I was at customer's end, I could really understand what customer's requirement was. So that understanding customer's requirement gave me a leap ahead of others. So because I was at the other end for about 10 years, I could really understand what was customer's requirement and work for that. So we used to work for customer's requirement. I would like to mention here, I bought an Indica car. Customer was having a line stop. So we loaded about 750 kgs in my Indica car. It's a new car, which is about a week old. Okay. We took it to Chennai, to Ashok Leyland to supply.
Deliver
it to the line. Next day, the line has to run. And it was raining the whole night. From Coimbatore to Chennai, it was raining.
You had taken it personally?
Personally, we had a driver. We took it to the line. We delivered at morning 10 o'clock. We started here at 6 o'clock. Those days, road was very bad. It's not like the highways we have it today.
Yeah.
Very bad roads. So we reached by around 9 o'clock in the morning, that plant directly. We delivered to the line at 10 o'clock. So that satisfaction is very, very important. So working for customers' requirement will always put you ahead of others. Coming back to your second question of investors.
Needing investors.
Yeah,
Today's mindset.
Funding for... See, those days, we don't get investors. We have to put in our money. And we can go for bank loans. Even bank loans are difficult to get. We have to pledge our house. We have to pledge our properties to get bank loans. If you perform better, then you get a little loan at a easier pace and you get recommendation from the banks. But during initial, these first 5 years are critical for you. Based on your first 5 year performance, you used to get funding those days. And first 5 years, we used to work very hard. We had a team of about 3-4 people who used to work with me. We used to At least work from morning 8 to night 12 o'clock. So those were
That was a normal.
normal curve is night 11, 12 o'clock. We used to work in the company and then go back, come again at 8 morning 8 o'clock. See, this was a practice for me in Ashok. We used to work from morning 8:30 to night 11, 10 and all that. See, when you start an entrepreneurial journey, you should have passion. Passion only will drive you. Nothing else will drive you. Investments, as of now, we are getting a lot of investors to invest in your companies. But again, those days, it used to be very difficult. And you investors and venture capitalists, we cannot even dream of those days. Even your friends will not invest for you. Because it is your passion, you have to invest and get things done. See, that is why, because those days, companies used to grow a little slower also. You cannot grow at a faster pace. And if you grow slow, you can build up your company in a good quality, good requirements, all that. So if you grow very fast, it is very difficult to manage your company. You can build it step by step, your company. So you can understand what is going wrong. If something goes wrong, you can correct immediately. But in today's context, if the company is built very large immediately, then if something goes wrong, it is going to be very difficult for them to correct. And the correction cost also is going to be very high today. Those days, we don't have much of technology also. We have to manually work to ensure that we give good quality product to our customer.
Your opinion on that mindset, sir? Getting money initially itself to start a company, that is very famously in startup ecosystem, right? Get money from VCs, spend on marketing, acquire a lot of customers, dilute your equity. But somewhere I feel that approach is good if you are planning for rapid growth. That is also one approach, but it is a double-edged sword, no? Taking money from somebody.
Definitely a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
And I don't think it will apply better for manufacturing companies. Maybe marketing companies and that kind of companies which don't have much of infrastructure, it's okay. In manufacturing companies, it's better that you put your own fund and you make it grow. That is the best way to grow. See, you cannot have a baby in 6 months.
That is true.
You have to wait for 9 months. That you cannot do anything with that. Something like that. Manufacturing, you have to have your own lead time. Yes, there are bigger companies which choose to build if you have a product, then you can always build bigger companies, and you have funds and products, then you can build a bigger company. But when an entrepreneur, he wants to start a company, my suggestion is go with a smaller amount of investment. Then you test yourself first, whether you are able to perform. If you are able to perform, then you can multiply. That is the best way to do things. If you are not able to perform, then you can correct wherever you want to correct. Then you can multiply.
No use in burning money and...
Yes.
How was the support of banks in your growth, sir? You started with 2 lates. Going forward, did you get any bank financing? Although no investors as such, but did you opt for bank financing, or did Ashok Leyland or any other customer support you, or it was all only from the profits?
You're churning back the profits. And give us some tips also, sir. How you have expanded over the past 23 years. You have added multiple machines. Initially, you might not have had that level of capital to invest 10 crore, 5 crore and all. How do you balance that credit and your rotation cycles and keep expanding? What have you learned, sir?
Yeah. So it's a very important question. See, initially banks are not going to support you. You have to be on your own. Banks are definitely not going to support you. You have to have your own funds to make your own things. And customer also will not initially support you because they don't have any confidence.
You are not proven yet.
You are not proven yet. So you are a raw hand. So you have to prove yourself to get customer. Unless you have a customer who is very close to you, who can support you very well. And such kind of customers are there, then it is okay. Otherwise, you have to prove yourself. That's why I told you in your last question that we start in a small way, test ourselves, then proceed in a bigger manner. Yeah, proceeding in bigger manner also, we have to have our own funds only. We have to have our own funds. Always use only 50% of your funds. Keep 50% of your funds as...
Let's say you have 1,50,000, you use 50,000 for emergency.
Yes, for emergency, you have to keep it. For example, we got into Corona. So we couldn't do anything. These kind of situations will come, or you might end up with some emergencies in your company. So you have to have your backup for that. That is always very, very important, that you have backup for those kind of situations. My thing is, you have to be on your own. As an entrepreneur, managing his finances is very, very critical. How do I manage my finances? You put me a question, how do I manage my finances?
Give us some tips, sir.
Yes. You have to be, it is customer or banker. You have to, entrepreneur has to convince everybody. You have to market yourself.
Salesmanship.
Yeah, that is very, very important. So how do you market or sell yourself to a banker is very, very important. Yes, even if you have good results, if you are not able to sell yourself, then it is very difficult.
You might still end up not getting a loan.
What I do is I look at my balance sheet every week. We make a weekly balance sheet in our company. So we always work on the weekly balance sheet and we see that we are okay with our margins. Otherwise, we auto-correct ourselves. Wherever we are left down, we auto-correct ourselves. Then go ahead with the further thing. And one more thing is, we have to be very transparent with our employees. That is how we can grow. Whatever we are making, we have to be very transparent with our employees. So we have a town hall meeting every month where I update the performance of the company to our employees very transparently. I tell them what we made last month and where are we, what are customers' requirement this month, how much we are going to make. All that we discuss in the town hall meeting. I do update my last employee about the company's performance. So one is you have to be transparent in your business. Then you have to be very calculative. So in whatever product you do, if you're yes, in a basket of 10 products, if one product, if you're not able to make money, it is okay. Then you are doing it for customer's sake. But if your total basket contains non-profit business, then it is better that we leave the business and proceed only with the business which are making money. You need not make very lot of money. At least you should make 10%. Correct. Very, very important. That
You have to be profitable.
And minimum 10% profit is necessary to run the business. That is point number one. And one thing is, if we are not making profit in that product, how to bring about profit in that product is the first thing we have to look at. We cannot expect customer to give profit on every product.
True.
So how to bring the profit in that part is our prerogative. So we have to work on that very closely with our production team and the new product development team and engineering team to put our processes right, to correct our path weight, everything. We have to focus on the total part to make it right and to get things right, to bring the item on the track. So coming back to your question of bank schemes, see today subsidy schemes are available up to 1 crore. If you take loan, 25% subsidy scheme is available from the banks. That is available from the District Industry Center, which Tamil Nadu government gives. DIC. So you can apply to them and take back your 25% subsidy and whatever you invest up to 1 crore. Apart from that, bank interest rates subsidies are there. So if you pay properly in time, then you can get subsidies back. Those are the two critical.
Any central government schemes, sir, that would be beneficial for people thinking of getting into manufacturing businesses? Because
Central state,
There are a lot of schemes.
we can put it like this, no? Not only foundry manufacturing, CNC parts, general manufacturing, people can approach banks in such a way. What are all these two schemes you said? Any other schemes that would be benefit for people?
See, there are a lot of schemes. We cannot point out any single scheme. There are a lot of schemes. See, it varies from bank to bank also. So you go to the bank, then sit with him and discuss and do. See, the banks, if you see the face of the bank when you go for a loan, and when you see the face of the bank in other transactions, it's completely different. So they will totally get all your details before sanctioning a loan. It's very, very difficult to get a loan. The face of the bank is completely different there. So you have to present your total this thing to the bank to get your loan.
Be transparent.
Be transparent, show growth prospects. You see, if you are a good company, you get good profit, but your growth is not there, bank will not invest. So you have to make your bank partner. The growth is very, very important. You have to work for growth. That is very, very important.
So you were talking about one topic, which is, to get a profit, to make something profitable. There are two ways. It is not just increasing the cost to the customer, but also improving the process and all those things. How important is a process for any industry? I think Japanese have made a beautiful job in putting in all good systems in manufacturing industry. That manufacturing
Giving the entire manufacturing industry the gift of Kaizen, Gemba, all that top tier systems.
Actually, the process is excellent. If you look at manufacturing industry, it is very close to military. I see that way. To make a product with so many moving parts, we need to run a manufacturing industry like a military.
Yes.
What is the importance of process for any manufacturing? I think this is not very familiar in other manufacturing industries or other industries as such. So can you touch upon the importance of processes and
because in our
quality systems?
Specifically our type of industrial manufacturing, sir, accuracies are, it's not like we are manufacturing some masala powder, right?
Yes.
So it is very critical because parts move, lot of intricacies are there.
Yes.
How do you set up established processes even if you had the learnings, when you do it for yourself, it would have been difficult, right? What are some of the tips that you could
But before we proceed, sir, actually I will tell you, the reason me asking you this question is, before I came into manufacturing, for me quality was all about inspecting the product after the product is made.
Correct.
But then after I came inside, I understood that quality is there in every step of...
Set right before
the process. Yeah.
Starts. Yes, correct.
So, which is why I put this question to you as to importance of process and other things.
Yes. See, process is like a heart for us. How important is the heart for our body? See, if it doesn't run, your body will stop. So, process is also like that. It is like a heart. So, you have to maintain your process in a very good condition. Like the process you fix is very, very important. Initially, when you develop a part, so you have to fix the process such a way that it meets all your quality requirements. Like you rightly said, the quality is not after the producing the part. It is before producing the part. So it starts with incoming inspection. So whatever raw material you put into the process should be good. So you should ensure good raw material is being put into the process. Then each process, at the end of each process or during each process, the parameters you set for running the process. In our case, tools, machines quality, all that is very, very important. The tools we put in is also very, very important. The machines, what we do is we check our machines every month once. About the repeatability of the machines are checked and ensure they are within 5 microns or 6 microns. Every month we do this exercise. So all this is very, very important. We cannot, today Industry 4.0 has come in, and you can apply those digital techniques to increase the quality quality of your product.
Okay.
Increase that, to streamline your process. That's very, very important. Today, like earlier days, now in our company we have de-skilled the operator totally in some lines, in critical lines. Like we have put a auto offset in our company, so that the operator's work is to check the component in auto offset and just press a button. The offset directly goes to the machine. So in the earlier days, he has to go and manually input the offset. So when he manually puts the offset in, he can chances of error becomes more. So today all that we have de-skilled. Any unskilled operator can run the machine. So maybe we cannot say unskilled, maybe semi-skilled. From skilled we have moved to semi-skilled. This is the first step of robotics, introducing robotics in the line. So tomorrow if robots are introduced in the machine production line, this is the first step. So if the corrections are made automatically, then automatically
there's no need for manual labor.
So this is how the process is very important. Yes, more than process, the systems we built in to ensure the better process is very, very, very important. Like we can be very innovative on systems. We do not follow what Japanese has told, what Europeans have told. We Indians are very creative. See, the problem is the creativeness of Indians is such that we don't follow systems. Not that we can't follow systems. We don't follow systems where we are creative, because we keep on reducing. At the end of 2 months, if you see, whatever systems we followed at the first day and the 60th day is completely different. We might have done it better, but without understanding whether it is important, we would have left out one important dimension and run the system better. But it is not going to help us. So we have to be more systematic. And when a process change is there, it should be documented properly and it should be properly done. And we can innovate a lot of things in the process. Like in our company, in Sreeram, what we do is we make a video of all the inspections.
Okay.
So what we do is those videos are used to train our new inspectors and operators. So it becomes a standard now.
Record.
See, the training, if I give a training, it might not be the same all the full month. So based on my mood, how busy I am, all that will change. But a video is there. It is going to be same for the total year or until that product dies, the same video. So we have done about 80-85 components. We have videoed all the components inspection, how an inspection to be done, and we maintain the records. So this is used in our company for the operator training as well as the inspection. So this kind of innovations will help us a lot. We now are working on making video of setups also. So we can make a setup video and see where our times are wasted, and we can reduce those times and we can improve our process so that we are always competitive.
Right.
We always supply competitive parts to our customers.
Coming to the team building part, sir, how have you built your team across the years? You must have started with 2-3 people. Across the years, what and all have you learned from as an entrepreneur handling a young team, then having people under you handling teams? What have been your learnings? What you thought to us right initially? Now things you might have matured, you might have changed your views. Please touch upon that journey, no? And best practices.
See, team building is very, very important. If we have to build a good team, then we should have good people. Competent people should be there. Competent people is very, very important. Then training, we cannot give training on everything. So training should be limited, but wherever required, we have to train them. But competent people are very, very important to build a good team. See, whatever we give in comes back to us. So in team building, it's very important that we have good people. And initially, we had only 2-3 people. Now we have a team of around 150 people in our machine shop and about 120 people in our foundry. It always have been a learning curve. Even today, I cannot say we have put the best team in place. Even today, we are learning how to make our team better.
It's a continuous process.
It is a continuous process. We always give the best to our team. Like resources, we give the best resources to our team. We give the best trainings to our team. We want them to evolve on their own. So for that, we have brought in a cultural consultant. One consultant comes to us, Mr. Nagaraj comes to us as a cultural consultant. So he builds the culture inside the company for the senior members of my team. So we work with them on improving their lives rather than improving the company. We feel that if I improve the lives of my team, automatically the company will improve. So the team always gives its best. My team always gives its best. We don't micromanage the team. We have a review about a weekly once a review about half an hour, and each department we have a review. We have KPIs for them, monthly KPIs for them. They decide their KPIs and they just present to us what are their KPIs for, what is their performance for the last month and what are their projects for the next month. That's all. They do on their own. So I always feel that we should give them freedom to work on their own. That is very, very important. The team you select and a very important quality of team is they should always develop their subordinates. Developing a subordinate is much more important than anything.
Initially, what and all struggles you faced, sir?
Initially, and the problems we faced were to get good people because we were not able to pay much.
That is still there, I guess.
Yes, it is there, but still, initially it was much more. Now, we see a reduction in that. And it's not like earlier days where we have to go everywhere and do it. It's not like that. We have a team of about 25 people in machine shop who are always with me from number one day. So that helped me a lot in streamlining my process, all that.
That is very crucial, no?
Very crucial. They have also grown. They have also grown at least 10 to 12 times from my initial days. They will still grow. We always motivate our team. Because we are very transparent. Since the top management is very transparent to the team, our team takes the ownership, works it as their own. That is very, very important for the team to go through.
Why do you review your balance sheet every week? Generally, see companies doing monthly basis, but
what is the significance of?
I think you know this KPIs and KRAs in a bigger companies are reviewed every year. We do it monthly. See, the point here is we have to autocorrect at the earliest, being an entrepreneur and a small company. It's being an MSME, we cannot wait for the full month and the correction becomes little more difficult. Once you know in this week itself what is the problem, you can correct it. So the same thing applies to when we provide monthly KPIs to my HODs also. So we tell them what is their performance this month. They tell us what is their performance every month. So they autocorrect themselves. That's all. Its autocorrection is easy when you monitor it little closer. That's all.
That is the reason.
That is the only reason.
Fail fast, fail forward.
Yes.
Fail fast, fail forward. Yeah. On the lines of team building, sir, nowadays it is very tough to get regular labor, no, for doing the day-to-day production activities. Especially during COVID times, it must have been even more difficult. How do you manage that aspect? That is a very common problem manufacturing companies face. Not only our industry, if anywhere you go, that availability of labor is a big issue. How do you balance that? Of course, North Indian laborers are also nowadays being utilized everywhere across this zone, Western Tamil Nadu. How do you...
See, there are 2 to 3 things to look at this. See, one thing you look at saying that there's no labor, right?
Correct.
So you have to be more positive in this. You have to bring in a lot of positivity into your company and the team. So you identify good points and highlight that and motivate them so that this team starts performing even better. For example, my team whenever there is a problem, they run 2 machines at a time. Each operator runs 2 machines if required.
They take that.
They take that responsibility and do it. So it becomes easy for you. So that is how we do it. Point number 2, you don't have a gender bias. So in our team, there are ladies as well as gents. We treat them equally.
Right.
We treat them equally. We don't have, because we are not gender biased, because ladies, we don't give them a lesser salary. We give salaries.
That also happens, no?
It happens in the industry.
Yeah.
But we give salaries at par with the gents, so that
Work is work.
One of my operator is a lady. She is the best operator in the company. At least she takes the best operator award at least every 6 to 7 months in a year. See, I told you about this town hall meetings. What we do is, after I brief about the company performance, and my plant head and my HODs do their speech about their department performance for about a minute or 2, then we have an award ceremony at the end of that speeches. So what we do is, we to motivate my employees, we give lot of awards to our employees. Like for our operators, there is a gold operator award, silver operator award, and bronze operator award based on their performance in productivity and quality. So for an executive also, we give you gold executive award, silver executive, and bronze executive award based on their performance we call it ROIG report. For executives, we have a report called ROIG report. So based on the ROIG report, they are given an award. For HODs, based on their KPIs, there is a gold KPI, gold HOD award. So gold quality award is there, suggestion award is there, best case award is there, high achiever award is there. We have 2 awards as high achiever award, who goes beyond their boundaries and support others. So those kind of motivations only can help you.
Those kind of team structuring you have in place to keep people motivated.
Yes, we have to keep them motivated such that they bring in more people. That is our aim.
Right.
So this is the only way you can do it. Otherwise it's going to be still...
It's going to be difficult.
And bad in the forthcoming years. You have to keep it at the best. Whatever team you have, it has to be at the best. And to keep them, you have to identify positive points on a day. See, one of my HR we have put in place, her work is to identify positive points inside the company. 3 positive points she identifies daily. And she puts it on a board in our canteen or in the entrance, so that whoever comes inside reads about the positive points. That happens in our company, not the general positive.
Yeah.
Talking about what happens inside
your premises.
Like today, everybody has come with a safety. Everybody is working with a safety. That is a positive point.
Right.
So if somebody does one of the best performances, like 160%, my operators they do 160% also
Output.
So this is a very positive point. So
these things are recognized and rewarded also.
Rewarded. Yes, you have to recognize and reward. Otherwise,
or else the motivation will not be.
Right. Rewards can be in terms of
money alone doesn't motivate, no sir. More recognition also plays a...
Recognition is very important. That's why we give a badge to them. So a badge is given to...
Monetarily also
we take care of the employees.
I have something about global business going globally. We say India, China are all cost competitive when we compare with European nations. But now with this labor issue and all this coming into play, I think soon we will also start automating our businesses. In that case, somewhere we will be at par with European nations. They are ahead of us in technology when it comes to automation. So assuming India has automated its manufacturing, Europe has also automated its manufacturing, I don't think there will be a big difference in the cost. How do we play on a global scale in that scenario?
Overcome those.
Yeah.
See, even Europe might automate, we might automate, but our cost is definitely going to be lesser in the areas of our building, in the rent. They might automate the line. But we have a rent.
The environment, they can...
Environmental cost is that. We call it the fixed cost. The fixed cost is always going to be higher in Europe. So you can automate the process. But what about the raw material? Raw material is going to be not going to be cheaper in Europe. More than that, the environment, due to environment conditions, most of the foundries and forge shops are getting closed in Europe. So we might have to take that role of substituting them for them. Yes, we also have to take care of our environment. We have to go green very soon.
Correct.
And if you have to export to Europe from 2025, you have to declare your carbon emissions. So that is
as a company?
As a company.
Okay.
As a company. If your carbon emissions are higher than the standard, the buying companies have to pay a penalty.
To the European
Union.
So these are the cases where we have to be very careful, and we have to put our foot to make it go green. So Go Green is going to come very soon.
On that same topic, sir, you run a foundry also. What are the measures that you take for sustainability? Touch upon that now, because foundries are generally polluting all that, but that has to be there because it is essential for supply chains. How do you ensure sustainability in your foundries? What have you learnt that people can implement in terms of sustainability? Some tips.
The power, you can go for green power. Like you can put a solar or a wind power, and you can obtain your power from those
Subsidies, those projects,
projects and use it. So that is one type of going green. To bring green inside your foundry, you have to reduce your waste. You cannot eliminate waste. You have to reduce your waste. See, main waste from a foundry is a green sand. You have to reduce the green sand to a certain extent to be compared with the best in class in the industry.
Okay.
So that is the only way you can bring down your wastage from the foundry. And the pollution, all that you have to take care by putting proper wet scrubbers. You are running the pollution equipment properly. All that you have to take care and monitor on today online monitors are there.
Okay.
So based on online monitoring, we can see what is it we are polluting. See, we have to declare to our customer what is the carbon we are emitting. Maybe in another 2 years or so. So we have to equip ourselves online.
So you have to have a hands on. You have to have a control on everything that is going on.
Yes.
So that you don't pollute also. Pollute in the sense like you ensure that it is within the limits.
Yes. See, first you have to measure whatever you want to do. Once you measure, then you can correct. You have to measure. It is measurable. You have to bring everything under your measurable control. So that once it is measurable, then you can always correct it.
Sir, I think you have been running business for across 25 years. So across these years, what has been the most defining moments in your journeys, entrepreneurship journey?
Most defining moments is the satisfaction we get in running an industry. That is very, very important. Even though it is very difficult to run an industry.
Correct.
At the end of the year, at the end of the month, if you see, the satisfaction you get from seeing your employees happy, that is very, very important. The best part of the journey is you take care of so much families. And when there is a problem with those families, you always mingle with them. Even today, we run our company like a family. So if there is a problem, we involve and solve their problems, try to solve their problems to the maximum possible extent. So you have to take care of their employees. That's very, very important. The most defining moments in the entrepreneurship career is when we secured an export order from one of our customers. We were put in the first place and we got the order from the customer. That is one of the very defining moments in our journey. And we got a letter from one of Myanmar MD for developing a part in 21 days. We got an appreciation letter from Myanmar MD. That also is
Defining moment of your journey.
yes.
On that same topic, sir, what and all were the toughest situations that you faced? Because definitely there would have been days where frustration would have been at the core. How did you handle those frustrating days, sir? Because failures are a part and parcel of this thing. We keep failing, we keep falling. What were your toughest moments?
See, every failure we take it as a lesson. That is our first part. Every failure we take it as a lesson. We try not to repeat our failures. We learn from our failures and see that we don't repeat those failures. That is a point number one. The second is whatever maturity we have today, we don't have at the earlier days.
You can only connect the dots backwards.
Yes, backwards. So those days we were suffering a lot due to not learning from your failures. Today we learn a lot from our failures. We take actions to prevent those failures.
Make sure it is not repeated.
It is not repeated. It is not repeated. When you talked about
Tough moments.
the tough moments, there were many tough moments in the company. One was during those power cut days when we went very bad. Our hands were tied. We couldn't do anything we were supposed to do, but we were not able to do. Those were very tough moments for us. And Corona was there. That was one of the toughest moments for us and our employees. Yes. How do I deal with these tough situations?
You personally.
When I go out of the company, I forget the company. When I come inside the company, I give 100% to my company. That is how I work.
Okay.
I don't take back anything on my mind. See, when I go and sleep, I sleep within 2 minutes, even today. So that is, you have to be very clear.
A bit detached also.
Detached. That is very, very important. You are detached. Otherwise, you cannot.
It will ruin your peace of mind.
Yes, you cannot run a company if you are not detached. So if you work in a bigger company, yes, you can feel detached. But it is your own company.
It is tricky, no, sir?
We South Indians are very emotional.
Correct.
That's very difficult to do what I am saying.
Yeah.
I practice such things here. That's how I do that.
It has been an evolution, I guess, for you also.
Yes, it's very important.
Detaching yourself and not looking at it in a very emotional sense.
Yes. Yeah, I am emotional when I'm inside the company. When I go out, I'm not.
Correct. Once you step out,
I leave it. So for that, you have to connect with your family more.
Correct.
So if you go and meet your daughter or somebody, your wife in the house or your son, so you become more attached to them. You forget this.
You don't show the tension there.
Sometimes, yes, very less. It may be very. You can point out 1 or 2 times or even 4 or 5 times, not beyond that. Very less.
But you have consciously made it a habit.
Yes, very consciously I practice this. Very consciously I practice this so that we don't.
Nothing else gets disturbed at home.
Yes.
How important has family been, sir, across your journey? What family support?
See, they have lost a lot.
Acha.
Giving me to this entrepreneurial journey. They supported. Initially, they were very afraid that I might be on the losing side. So once they found out, yes, I'm going to do it better, they supported me a lot. They are with me even today.
That fear is ingrained in almost every lower middle class coming up and trying to do business as a first generation.
Correct. You are right. It's very, very important. And
I
told them if I am not okay for 3 years, I'll go back.
It's not that they don't support us, they're just afraid.
They are just afraid because we are lower middle class family, and if we do something wrong, then it's going to be
very catastrophic for
the total family. So they're very afraid of that. But I told them, I'll give me 3 years time. If I don't do it properly, then I'll go back to work. But we did it better. Yeah,
rest is history.
Those were the driving forces behind your entrepreneurial journey. When you commit to your family that you're going to do better, you give your best. And one more thing is, if someone or something disgraces you or humiliate you, that is going to be the driving force behind another.
True.
Somebody don't humiliate you, you will not grow at a faster pace.
Very true.
Somebody humiliates you and disgraces you, that will drive you to be one of the best. That is very important. That, yes, I have faced such situations, which I don't want to mention.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So, but that drove me to a point where...
that was a driving force.
Yes, very big driving force. Otherwise, it is not going to be like this.
Can you touch upon NIQR, sir? You have been an active member of NIQR.
Yeah.
What is NIQR? What does that do, sir? Because we got to know NIQR from you. So please.
See, NIQR is a National Institute for Quality and Reliability. The main purpose of... See, it is a very big organization in Chennai. They have around 500 plus members, including very big companies like Ashok Leyland, to a small entrepreneur where he does 1 lakh turnover. So it's a very big organization in Chennai. So they did a global conference last year where about very big participation was there. About 2 days the conference was done in Chennai. So now in Coimbatore we have started this NIQR chapter. It is also started in various cities in India. Pune they have started. They have started in Hosur. They have started in Pondicherry, and they have started also in North India. So here in Coimbatore, NIQR chapter, we wanted to start an NIQR chapter to train these MSMEs to be better in the quality. See, I want MSMEs to move from quality control to quality assurance. Like what we said, control your process so that the quality always is a...
Result is assured.
Result is there. Quality always is achieved. So there's no point of checking the quality. And the customer doesn't pay for your quality for checking the component.
Yeah.
So he gives for producing your component, that's all. NIQR mainly focuses on the training of the MSMEs. That is the main purpose of NIQR. Okay, the training is divided into 2 sessions. Like one is shop floor training, the other one is the training hall training. So basically, NIQR mainly specializes in the shop floor training. So they can make you produce better. There are a lot of consultants who can support us to make this the better. And the second point of NIQR is networking. When you come to NIQR, you get to know a lot of quality-oriented personnel. So where you can network with them to improve your business.
Improve our knowledge also.
Knowledge,
understanding.
Knowledge is very important. Knowledge automatically gets improved, but business also improves.
Correct.
Because you want a quality supplier. You come to NIQR, you meet some people there. So you get a quality.
It may turn into a business relationship also.
Yeah, that is also one of the important point. And more than all this, your people development is very, very important. So you can develop your people to be the best in the industry.
Right.
So NIQR supports you in all these forms. We want to make this NIQR one of the best
This is across India, sir. NIQR.
almost across India. Now, a lot of branches are coming out, but the headquarters is in Chennai. Headquarters is in Chennai.
This is a not for profit.
Yeah, it is a non-profit organization.
Of course, for the meetings and all.
Yeah, there will be small
minimal.
To cover the expenses, yes, you'll have to
Yes.
get it, sir. Yes, I agree.
If a consultant has to come from Chennai,
Correct.
then we have
That
to
and all.
all that will be divided. And we are trying to organize 2 training programs every month in NIQR, Coimbatore.
Okay.
We have just started. We are about 6 months old. It's a small sapling. We have about 25 members. We are going to then one important character of NIQR is we are trying to connect the industries with the institutions. Now there is an institutional wing of NIQR also, which will connect industries to the institutions.
Institutions in the sense education.
Education institutions.
Okay.
See, today we are saying that engineers are not industry ready. So NIQR function would be to make them industry ready.
This is specifically for manufacturing.
Manufacturing. Yeah. How to make it ready, make engineers ready for industry. So that will be one of the part where we are going to trying to link industries with institutions so that each industry can take up 10 people and train them to be industry ready engineers.
When they're in the college itself.
Either college maybe the last semester or minimum 1 month, 2 months, something, whatever best possible.
So that they don't come out raw.
Yes. So at least their knowledge is better.
Correct.
Knowledge is better. That's what we are trying to do.
Whether they come inside our industry or somebody else's, at least they have the
knowledge, and what you gain from that is if you give some 6 months training to this person, if he comes to your industry, you save those 6 months cost. So your training cost is also coming down for the industries. Whereas those engineers get to go to a better company once they are trained better. They get a better company to go. That is how we are working on this.
What policies, what things you feel in our education system should change, sir? Because there is
education system. There are 2 things. One system should give knowledge. The second system should give skill. We are not giving skill to our engineers. Correct. Engineers are not skilled. They are knowledgeable. They are knowledgeable, but
skill is missing.
See, if I get an electrical engineer, he can draw any circuits, but can he give a connection to a bulb is very, very important. So that is not. So you have to upskill your employees. That's very, very important. So if you don't have skill, there's no use of knowledge. So you have to improve the skills of your persons. That's very, very important. That can happen only by training and experience.
But it has to start at the educational level itself, no? Somewhere there is a disconnect.
Yes. It has to definitely start at the education level. See, you have to give the person some project to work on.
Maybe the third year itself.
See, today, electrical engineer, you can give some house to him to make the wiring in that house best. So that becomes a model of business for him tomorrow. So like that, we have to connect those engineers with the real time projects are very, very important.
Correct.
It is not doing in the lab is not anymore very important and all. Giving them real time projects, believe in them, give them real time projects to perform. They will do definitely better. Their ideas are fantastic. If you see the engineers, new engineers now, young engineers now, their ideas are fantastic. They are very creative. But they are not given enough opportunity. That's what I feel. They are not given.
There is a disconnect, I feel.
There is a big disconnect. And the disconnect is mainly their skill is not improving. Correct. See, if you have skill, your confidence goes up. You need not wait for somebody to hire you. You can be on your own.
True.
You can develop your own business if you want. If you have skill, that skill you can rent out that skill to earn money. So
you can do something
better. Yeah. See, for example, if you go for higher studies to Europe or US, you can use the skill to earn and study. You need not depend on your family or somebody to do your higher studies. So that kind of skill has to be built into any employee. And moreover, customary work everybody should learn. Like if a carpenter is there, his son should learn carpentry according to me. That skill should not go. Today, carpenter son becomes an engineer. Engineer son is becoming an MBA. So it goes on like this. But we don't have lower level people working with us. See, we feel that lower level work is of low quality or low status. So that is not the case anymore. So low level work will be of high status within next 5 to 10 years. The status is not decided based on your work. It is decided based on what you give back.
But it is a perception.
That will go out soon. It cannot be. See, you can see in your lifetime that blue-collared persons are paid more than white-collar persons. It will happen very quickly. It's not, it is going to be the things panning out now. If you see, you can see before 10 years and now how things are panning out. So it is going to be very difficult. In next 10 years, it is going to
The supply and demand gap is going to
be very huge.
very huge. It's not about the status or anything. It's about filling the needs and getting skilled.
See, if you want a skilled carpenter today, getting a skilled carpenter
Very
is
difficult.
very difficult.
Electrician,
You want an
plumber,
electrician,
any
it's very difficult. So, if
trade-based
trade-based
skills.
skills. So those are very, very important. And see, even if you the skills you train in your company is very, very important to an employee. So you have to teach him how to make the work, how to make the work very fast. So that is the difference between us and China. So they are very skilled, and they train on a specific job role, and they make him the best.
They have
See,
matched that the entire skill, opportunity, efficiency, everything they have matched, I guess.
See, it is not what you do. Like I always tell my employees, from sweeper to CNC operator to marketing manager, it is not what you do. It is how you do is very, very important. If the work given you are the number one in the country, then you can be rest assured of your
Opportunities will come to you.
automatically it will come to you, and you can be the best. If you are number one in India in the job you are doing, if you are number one sweeper in India, you are going to get a lot of jobs. You can run a sweeping company tomorrow. If you are in the marketing, you are number one marketing manager, then why are you worried about job
Right.
from Sreeram or some XY company? So you can be on your own. So you have to be the best in whatever you do. How to be the best is you have to put effort, continuous improvement you have to do in your job you do. That is the best way to come out of this.
So, what is your advice? I would say, what is your advice to young entrepreneurs who are building company, who are building their own organization? What is your advice on how they should build the culture within the organization, sir?
How do you do it at Sreeram? And give us some tips on how to.
Now, the reason I ask this is a lot of startups are coming inside today. With the funding available, they are going for bulk hiring, and when that kind of bulk hiring happens, a culture comes into a picture. So, what is your advice to entrepreneurs on building a culture of your company?
See, culture is the people of the company. So culture is the ethics of the people of the company. You should have people with good ethics inside the company. The company's culture should be such that you don't focus on your products. You focus on giving customer a healthy customer experience in whatever we do. Once a customer visits your company, how do you treat him? How do you welcome him? How he feels satisfied with you is very, very important.
How he experiences your company.
Yeah, that experience is very, very important for him. He should cherish those experiences during his lifetime. So that should be the culture of the company. In this case, your product, your money, all that becomes a byproduct. It is not the main product. Once you start giving a healthy customer experience to your customer, all this becomes a byproduct. All your product, your money, your payments, all that becomes
Everything.
a byproduct. So you should make customer feel that he is experiencing the best when it comes to Sreeram. That's what we are looking at. I would advise to all companies to work on the same
In those lines.
so that if customer is happy, we are happy. That's all.
Customer is king.
Yes, customer is king. Customer is definitely the king in our premises.
Yeah. On the same topic, sir, we've covered employees, we've covered your own growth, your own story. What about vendors? How do you handle vendor management, all that? Because you started your career in vendor management. We never touched upon that subject. I would like you to talk a little about how to handle vendors, what sort of mindset that vendors should have to get qualified so that you can keep them for a long run. Because it is end of the day, they also have to travel with you for a very long time.
See, vendor forms a very important part of our family or organization, because we depend on a vendor for most of the tools, fixtures, all that. What we do is we first call a vendor, talk to him on what is our requirement. See, thing is, we have to very clearly specify our requirement to the vendor. That is very, very important. So once we specify the requirement to the vendor, and if you are able to select a right vendor to a particular a particular part or a tool or a fixture, then it becomes very easy. Staying the vendor with us is a long-term project where we work with the vendor very closely, and we talk to them on how to improve themselves to stay with us. See, what culture we have is, we don't just like that change the vendors. If there is a better opportunity from other vendor, we always call this vendor, talk to them. There's a better opportunity available. Why you are not able to do that better opportunity, or to match that better opportunity? What else you can do to improve yourself? So we talk to our vendors. Then we go ahead,
Take a call.
or we mostly try to talk to our existing vendors and make them do it. We want to stay with our existing. We don't change our vendors.
It's not like cut and throw out.
We don't change our vendors for the sake of money. Yes, we do change our vendors only for quality purpose. If there is some quality issues, they are not able to come out of that, then we try to support. We put our team there. We try to work with them to improve their quality.
Exit is the last option.
Yes, exit is always the last option, because you have given a lot of knowledge to that vendor. He knows Sreeram, right? He is traveling with you for last 10 years. Why should you quit from him? Unless a vendor wants to quit, we don't.
Correct.
Even if he wants to quit, we try to convince him to be with us. Even then, if there is a problem, then we just let him go. That is the last
resort. Thank you so much, sir, for taking so much of your time and spending it with us, and sharing whatever you've learned across the years to, I hope, many people watching. Any final thoughts that you would like to leave us with?
Yeah, it was my pleasure, both Vignesh and Cibi. It was my pleasure talking to you, and very kind of you to having invited me for this and sharing my thought to your audience. My final thought to the audience is that our birth can be, I'll always quote Dr. Abdul Kalam's phrases. Our birth can be an incident, but our death should be a history. So with those words, I close this. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.